do you think God or government, I don't know if in China, is it... We need to listen twice as much as we speak. Now, it doesn't apply to me, I'm a special case. No, but this is the thing, right? In general, when you have communication is a two-way street. So we need to also actively listen. Right? Does it make sense? So when someone tells something to us, we need to actively listen and to try to understand what that person is saying. So I would encourage all of you to start traveling. Not just to India, but traveling anywhere and everywhere. I know travel costs a lot of money, but you know what? Let me tell you something. I don't know if you know this, but you only live once. How many of you think that you're going to...
Don't worry, we travel a lot.
No, but I'm thinking when you understand that you only live once, when you are alive only one time, when you live one time, you need to make the most out of this life. You need to, you understand? You live once. You have to take advantage of this life and do what you love. Do what you love and love what you do. Thank you. That's the most important thing. You know, some of you may know what LOL stands for. LOL? In LOL. Laugh out loud. It shouldn't. It should stand for love of life. Love of life. Love your life. Everybody LOL, laugh out loud. Yeah? Love of life. We only live once. Love it. Love what you do. Do what you love. That's what this thing is. Ask me any questions, because I'm already kind of sick of hearing myself. I got to tell you, I teach at the university, and usually I teach classes of 3 hours. And at the end of several times at the end of the classroom, I go over by 20 minutes, 25 minutes.
Let me raise you one question.
Please.
What do you think are the major differences between the Chinese younger generation and the Indian?
That's a very good question. That's an excellent question. I think, very frankly, the Chinese have greater aspirations. The Chinese, they're able to see the world as the world is. The Chinese have a better understanding of the world. The Indians there are several cultural anchors. An anchor is a very heavy thing.
Yes.
So the anchor drags you down. Religious things, cultural things, customs, traditions. There are customs and traditions in China as well. But in India, those customs, those traditions tend to keep the people back. Too much. And so I think the Chinese people are more open-minded. The Indians, now the younger generation in India is also emerging, is getting schooled at some of the best schools around the world. Look, you guys have heard of this small company called Microsoft? Microsoft, you've heard of that? Who's the CEO of Microsoft? Satya Nadella, an Indian. Have you heard of, you probably didn't hear about Google. Yeah, you've heard of Google? You guys don't know. You only know about your Baidu thing, right? So,
this bunch of...
I know. I'm just trying to be funny. Yeah, just don't steal my show. Okay? Just don't steal my show. Who's the CEO? Who's the CEO of Google?
Larry Page.
Huh?
Larry Page.
No, it's not Larry Page. Larry Page is the founder of Google.
Anyway, it's an Indian guy.
A woman.
It's
Huh?
Indian guy.
It's another Indian guy, right? So the CEO of Pepsi Cola, an Indian woman. So the point I'm trying to make is that Indians are rapidly emerging as a force around the world. The difference is that only a very small number of Indians are actually emerging in the global kind of mindset, but there is a huge number of Indians emerging in the middle class. In other words, there is, in terms of financial power, the middle class in India is rapidly emerging. India today is exactly where China was 15 years ago.
15?
15, 1-5. Not 50, 1-5. 1-5. Shu, 1-5?
Yes.
Shu.
I can imagine that most of our people here representing the very eager learning people
Yes.
in the export community in China, in Foshan. They are keen to do business with India, but I believe somehow they are sometimes frustrated. Lincoln, who has been in Indian business for 14 years, they are somehow frustrated. Why? You should ask them why and give them some suggestions, please.
First I'll kind of make a comment, and then I'll ask the question why. First I'll make a comment. In India, just like in China, you have that guanxi thing. The relationship. So you need to know the right people in order to find the right channel and in order to find the right individual to talk with. 1.3 billion people in India, 1.4 billion people in China. To find the right person, it's a very difficult task. And you've spent a lot of time there. But in order to find the right person, it takes a lot of, diamonds. Ladies love diamonds, yeah? To find a good quality diamond, you have to go through a lot of, you take tons and mountains of dirt and you churn it, and even when you find the one diamond, it's not polished. You have to polish it. So you have to polish that relationship. You find the right person, and then you develop that relationship. And in China, it also takes time. I've been frustrated with China. I was vice president of international business development for a large engineering company. I was coming to China 18 years ago. I was trying to develop a network of offices in Beijing, Guangzhou, Shanghai, up north in Harbin. I've traveled to this country, in Baotao, Ordos, every single place that you cannot even imagine. And I was also frustrated. Why? Because I didn't know who do I need to talk with. You see, for me to meet with a guy like David, how can I find him? I come here, how do I find David? Jason. You find Jason first. But how do you find Jason? Well, you have to do a lot of work. And it's the same thing in India. In order to find the right person. Now, you have, very honestly, by the way, my business cards are there, so if you want, now you can have me as a resource. I can connect you with some right people. If you want to do business in India, I can certainly connect you with the right people. Not that I'm bragging, but I'm very well connected in the Indian environment with people at many levels. So I can help you. But you see, for me to be here in front of you and for you to connect with me, first I had to connect with Jason, then I had to connect with Ken, then we had to connect with David, and now we have this event here. So that takes time. It's not an overnight process. It takes time. Makes sense? So connections, that guanxi, right? The relationships, all the network. That takes time to develop. And you need to find the right people. Even when you find one person, you think, oh, this is the right person, but it's not. It's not. And then you go through another, and then to another, and then to another. And then at one point in time, you say, oh, forget about India. I'm never going to do business. But you were just one person away from the guy who was ready to help you to do business.
Yes, 99 to 100.
You understand? You know, tenacity. Everybody understands the concept of tenacity? Tenacious, to be tenacious. What is tenacity, Becky? Tenacity, tenacity. When you do things again and again, when you can, what's tenacity?
认进，坚持 persistence.
To be tenacious. Passion. Drive. These are things that would take you to success. Success doesn't happen overnight. So success. Somebody by the name of Steve Jobs, I don't know if he's somebody or whatever, but he said this. He said most overnight successes took a long time. Most overnight successes took a long time. What does it mean? When the world recognizes something as a success, it has already been a lot of work behind that. Alibaba is a wonderful success. But guess what? It didn't happen overnight. It took them 20 years. So there was a lot of work. And in those 20 years, they had suffered a lot of, ups and downs and everything. So for all of you, if you want to do business, not just with India, not just with